Hello and welcome back to episode 75 of this week's watches. That is incredible. 25 more to go and we will hit 100. As you guys and girls know, every single episode we put down in the description timestamps so you can skip to the single watch or the multiple watches you would like to see. I know some of you guys and girls actually watch through the whole video. Thank you very much for that. But I know a lot of you also come over here because you're here to see that specific watch and make a judgment of whether you're going to purchase it or not, which is why we do these videos in the first place. So you can skip directly to that. There'll also be links as well going directly to the website so you can purchase or see the extra photos or just have a gander and have a little look around. Obviously, if it says sold, that does mean it's sold. I'm getting a lot of emails recently saying I can't seem to buy the watch even though it says very clearly sold. If it says sold, it's gone, I'm afraid. You can email us and just sort of say if you get another one, you know, let you know, because we may have one incoming or one on the horizon or know of one for sale and we can point you in the right direction or try and work out a deal. So don't hesitate to email, but yeah, if it says sold, it's usually because it's actually sold. But this week we have 13 watches. Now we are recording this video on the Wednesday, I believe it's Wednesday today, and obviously the video goes out on Saturday. We try and do these in advance, and we have got many watches ahead of time, which is fantastic. So thank you all very much for sending in your watches either for us to purchase or consignment or whatever it may be. We really do appreciate it. Now, as I mentioned, I believe the past few weeks, you have to excuse the noise of Clark and Wells every video, but as I believe I've been mentioning the past few weeks, and I'm going to continue mentioning it every single video to make sure it's fresh on your guys' mind to understand the inevitability. We are, as of the time we're recording this, 7 weeks away from the due date of my baby girl, which is insane to think about, and it's crazy how fast this has come. Super exciting, but obviously there's very real scenarios with this. She could very well come early, and everything is pointing to the fact she will be coming early. Now, from this point on, I'm not going to be in the office every single day. It's probably going to be 3 to 4 days a week for the next 2 or 3 weeks. And then after that, 3 days, and then after that, 2 days, and so on until we're getting close to the actual due date, because I need to be at least near home to be there for when my wife goes into labor, obviously. So just keep that in mind. It's going to get a bit more difficult to book in viewings and everything like that. By more difficult, I mean it's just going to have to be more on my time, whereas before, a lot of you guys and girls know I try and be as flexible as I can to work around you. I come in early, stay later. We even did a few Saturdays here and there, which I know I said I would try and do one a month. That's sort of gone out of the picture with everything recently. But yeah, rest assured we will still do our best to get a viewing in. Danny is still going to be in every day, and he's going to be processing orders and shipments. So if you buy online, rest assured you're still going to get your delivery. There may be scenarios where it's 1 day delayed, so we do apologize, but that's just going to be down to me getting the invoices sent over to Danny and getting everything ready for him to be able to process out. So do bear with us. I would rather a day delay than us rush things getting done, especially when I'm going to probably be at home with a screaming baby and I'm going to be doing the work at 2 in the morning or whatever it may be. So just bear with us, and I'm sure a lot of you guys and girls really can understand this. I know a lot of you are parents yourselves, and you've already sent your well wishes and given me great advice, so I really do appreciate it. Every week I'm going to mention this. So going forward, there's going to be less time in the office. It's going to be more on my time in terms of the viewing times I can do. And obviously when Isla is here, the first 2 weeks at least, I'm not going to be in the office at all. Everything business-wise is going to continue as normal. I can't stress that enough. We are still going to be putting watches on the website. We're still going to be selling watches. We may have a few weeks where the drop videos aren't going to be done. So I do apologize for that in advance. But regardless, we're still going to work to get the watches on the website and get everything done for you guys and girls to continue purchasing and continue receiving your watches. So hopefully that is explained very well, and I am going to do the same again next week and next week and next week until Isla is here and we get into whatever the new norm is for scheduling of myself. But that's enough of the rambling. Quite a long ramble, so I do apologise. But what is on wrist? I am wearing my personal Fierce Brunswick Brown. I believe last video we actually showed the Brunswick Brown we had in for sale. They only made 5 of these. We had the first that has ever come up for sale, and it's now, actually I think it's already been delivered to the gentleman in the US. So it's the first one to be sold outside of the UK. which is kind of amazing to think. So thank you all very much for the interest. There was a lot of interest and it was amazing. For complete transparency, it sold at £4,500 or thereabouts. So that gives you an idea of the value of said watch, which is really interesting. We also have got some other fears pre-owned, either coming soon already on our stories, etc. So always keep an eye out, follow on Instagram, all that good stuff. But let's get on to what you're actually here to see, which is the watches that we've got here on the table. We're going to start at the top over here with the Cartier Santos. We have two mid-size, we have the steel and gold and full steel, and we're going to start with the completely unworn and fully stickered steel and gold. So what a watch to start this week's episode with. Now, I'm going to start off by saying this watch is fully stickered. It is unworn, it still has the cap on. We're not taking any of it off. We have photographed it as such as well, and we're going to leave it like that because at the end of the day, you know, you're buying a brand new watch, so let's keep it as such. As great as it would be to have some really nice photos of this, because this is such a photogenic watch, I'd rather keep it like this for you guys and girls, so you get the privilege of peeling them off. And if you want to then give it back to us to get some extra shots, then by all means, that would be really cool. But anyway, so this is the Cartier Santos mid-size or medium size. Now, let's start off by saying modern day medium size is actually the extra large size from about 40 years ago. So do keep that in mind. If you're seeing the word medium or mid and you're thinking, oh, it's going to be way too small for me, really give it some thought and consideration and come try it on, because I guarantee you this is going to surprise you. It is not small, it wears beautifully, and this size is classic. And for me, this is the size I would personally go for, and I'd actually recommend anyone going for regardless of your wrist size. Cartier is always supposed to have been understated and classic in design and proportions. So the really big models, whilst they are really cool, and I do like them as well, I just think this is more true to the original and also more true to what it should be. So now we've got that out of the way. This is the reference W2SA007, and this one's from January 2021. It does come with its full box paperwork, pin tool, and spare strap as well, which is all under the box. So these come with a nice leather strap, and they have their quick adjust system where it's nice and easy to swap out on the fly and switch over. So you've got that endless opportunity and ability there. 18 karat gold bezel, 18 karat gold screws throughout the bracelet, making it two-tone or bimetal, depending on how you like to call it. Original cabochon crown in there as well. This is classic Santos, and I think it looks absolutely gorgeous. Inside is the automatic Cartier 1847MC, which is their new in-house movement. And as I say, this just works so well. And we have the stainless steel one here. And whilst you're looking at this one, you can see them next to each other. I just think they're classic. I think they're really good. I think value for money, especially when you look at what retail is on this and the price we're offering it at, it's about, I think it's over £2,500 off retail. So, you know, you're getting yourself a brand new watch, £2,500 off retail. Kind of a no-brainer, but they're short on wrist and taut dimensions. And here we go on my just shy of 7-inch wrist. Now, obviously, this is fully stickered, so it's making the bracelet not very, you know, what's the word, like flexible. So once you take off all these stickers, I would say I probably would be taking out 2 or 3 links, so that gives you an idea of the full-size bracelet. It isn't that big, so if you have a larger wrist, you may struggle and actually require more links from Cartier. So do keep that in mind, but here we go. Absolutely gorgeous at 35mm by 42mm lug to lug, 9.5mm thick, so under 10mm, and 18mm lug. So endless options if you want to swap out from this to the leather strap provided, or any other strap you could possibly think of. However, for me, the bracelet, it just works so well. So go check this one out on the website today. From an absolute beauty and a classic to my personal choice between the two, I think they're both fantastic, but if I had to choose, I'd go for the all steel. And let's take a closer look at this one. Now on to my choice between the two. This is so good looking. So for a lot of you who have been following for a while or have known my collection for a while, I used to own a Santos mid-size early reference, so one of the older ones, which are actually a lot smaller than this. As I say, this is now the medium size, which was the large size back in the day. Quite complicated, I know, but just trust me, this works perfectly fine size-wise. You haven't got to go for that massive, crazy one. This is far more comfortable. Anyway, I used to own a Santos, and it was pretty much like this. Automatic, white dial on a bracelet, absolutely classic, quintessential Cartier in both design and function, and this is exactly the same. I think it's gorgeous, and I think they've done such a good job with the quick release on the links, which is super easy to do. Quick release on the strap as well to swap out on the fly. I just think it works so well, overall design and function. You really can't go wrong. So this is the reference WSSA0010. This is from April 2018. It does come with its full box and papers and spare strap. However, the push pin tool for the links is unfortunately missing. However, it can be done without the tool, so don't worry. We can still size it up for you, and you can still do it yourself nice and easy as well. Again, same as the last one. Inside is the automatic Cartier 1847MC. And it's the exact same proportions as well, so that's short on wrist and taut dimensions. And here we go on my just shy of 7-inch wrist. So this one is pre-owned, but it's in very good condition. A couple of hairline scratches you'll see on the bezel, maybe here and there, but overall very, very good. As you can see, without the stickers on, the bracelet is a lot more flexible, and I would say probably 3 to 4 links out is what would fit me. So that gives you an idea of bracelet size. Again, if you have a very large wrist, you may require more links from Cartier directly. But there we go. So this is 35mm by 42mm lug to lug, only 9.5mm thick, and again 18mm lugs. You've got the bracelet option and you've got the strap in the box as well. So go check this one out on the website today. From there, we're going to go over to Tudor, and we're actually going to jump straight on to the Pelagos FXD. We've been holding out getting one of these in. Reason being, I thought the prices of where they were a bit ridiculous, and I believe we are one of the best priced on the market for this one. So I'm quite, happy to be able to bring that kind of offer and deal to you guys. So let's take a closer look. So now it's time for the new Pelagos, the FXD, which has the fixed spring bars. You're either going to be a fan of that or you're not. You are certainly limited in terms of your options of straps. It obviously comes with this fabric NATO, and it does also come with a rubber canvas style strap. Now that strap will be provided, however, unfortunately the retailer forgot to give it to the customer who bought this, and I have email chains showing that they are sending it. It's just there's a delay from Tudor at the moment, but rest assured, once we get it, it will go over to you if you purchase it in the meantime or before it comes to us. So you will get it eventually, don't you worry. But this is the FXD reference 25707B/22. This one's from May 2022, and it does come with its full box and paperwork, fully stickered as you can see, and it is sold in unworn condition, which is fantastic. And again, as I said, at the price we're offering it at, I believe it to be one of the best deals on the market at the moment of recording the video. Hopefully it still is by Saturday. At the end of the day, with Tudor, I say it all the time, you pay a premium for certain models, and that premium may stick or it may not. As we've seen with the Tudor Pro, the prices have come down very, very quickly. However, the FXD has come down quite slowly in comparison and has continued to actually trade fairly strong, whereas the Pro has not, in my experience personally. So, there's definitely something to be said about this model. Maybe the rarity is in the sort of thought process of the rarity of this is what makes it quite interesting. The Pro, as cool as it is it really that far of a stretch of imagination for them to have done that? I don't think so. I think we all knew something like that would eventually come. Whereas something like this, I don't think we saw coming. I think a lot of us were quite surprised when it was released, especially with the use of fixed spring bars. Again, it's one of those watches like the silver that Tudor's showing, hey, look, guys, we do produce watches that still make you, go, what the hell? I wasn't expecting that. So this is one of those. Inside is the automatic Tudor MT5602 with a short on wrist and taut dimensions. And here we go on my just shy of 7-inch wrist, and one thing I cannot deny is the comfort of this watch. It's a big watch and it wears fairly big, as the Pelagos always has in my opinion. However, this strap just fits like a glove, and I'm not a fan of NATOs, so that's a bold statement coming from me. But anyway, so this is the 42mm by 50mm lug to lug, right on that brink I always talk about. 12.5mm thick, that's not including the NATO strap, which I have to say is beautifully sort of hidden under the watch and the curvature, so you don't actually feel the thickness of the NATO. So very well done on Tudor for that, and 22mm lugs. So go check this one out on the website today. From there, we again have a really good offer on the table with the Tudor Black Bay 925 Sterling Silver. A fantastic watch. Let's take a closer look at this one. Now it's time for the 925 Sterling Silver with the taupe dial and taupe bezel. Absolutely gorgeous. This sort of like grey monochromatic look with the slightly grayer colour of the sterling silver as opposed to steel is fantastic. It's beautiful and I absolutely love it. The only thing for me personally, and I've said this before and I'll continue to say it, the same opinion I have with bronze, it will eventually patina or tarnish and it will change colour. That's just inevitable. That's how sterling silver works, and at the end of the day, whilst they have made changes to the alloy, they can't change the fact that silver oxidizes. That's just not something they can do. So this will change color over time, it will tarnish, and it will show some, age, as we've already seen on some examples. However, hopefully, and again, we don't know this for certain just yet, but a simple silver rouge cloth, as they're called, or rouge cloth, should polish it up quite nicely and continue to have that nice brilliant shine. The same thing you'd use on silver jewelry as well. So we'll see, time will tell, but either way, what a fantastic looking watch. So this is the reference 79010SG, and inside is the automatic Tudor MT5400. This one's from May 2021, and it does come with its box and papers, and is actually still stickered. So value for money when you take a look at what this is priced at. Again, I believe this is one of the best priced on the market, especially considering it's fully stickered, and it does come with its original Tudor NATO, which has a silver pin buckle and keepers as well. So a good bit of kit this is, but let's show it on wrist and talk dimensions. And here we go on my just shy of 7-inch wrist, absolutely perfect proportions, the Black Bay 58s. This is 39mm by 48mm lug to lug, 12.5mm thick and 20mm lug, so endless options. A nice brown leather strap looks fantastic on this watch. However, the NATO actually does look pretty good as well. I think it suits it nicely, especially with the colour tone. So go check this one out on the website today. And the final Tudor on the table, probably my choice of the three surprisingly, but that is the Tudor Black Bay 58 Blue, an absolute classic. We've sold so many of these, it's amazing, and I just think value for money, even at retail, if you pay full whack, I think is fantastic. So to get one pre-owned, hardly worn in this kind of condition at this much of a saving, I really think is a no-brainer. So let's take a closer look. Time for another Black Bay Blue 58. Absolutely perfect. I'm not going to speak too long on this because I think this is probably, I don't know how many of these we've had, but we've certainly had a lot, and we've certainly spoke about them a lot. They're fantastic. Value for money is undeniable, and I think the overall design is beautiful as well, and the proportions are so perfect on wrist. I've considered this watch multiple times for myself. I know many of you guys and girls have. I know many of you have owned it, sold it, regretted it, bought it back because we've sold it to you again. So, it's one of those watches I think time and time again people will always come back to, and it's priced so well, especially when it becomes pre-owned, that it really is hard to find anything of this kind of value from a brand of this kind of recognition as well. So it's fantastic. The reference to this one is the 79030B. Inside is the automatic Tudor MT5402. This one's from July 2020, and it does come with its full box and paperwork, complete bracelet, and sold in very fair worn condition. I mean, honestly, you're gonna be hard pressed to find a better deal for one on a bracelet and complete set like this. But let's show it on wrist and talk dimensions. And here we go on my wrist. As you can see, that just works so perfectly at 39mm by 48mm lug to lug, 12.5mm thick and 20mm lugs, so endless options on this beautiful watch, although the bracelet is what I'd probably be keeping it on myself. So go check it out on the website today. From there we have another Chrono Tokyo, and this is the Toki Salmondale, completely unworn just like the previous ones and fully stickered. Let's take a closer look at this. Another Chrono Tokyo Toki Salmondale. I'm going to keep this one fully wrapped and stickered, so you're not going to be able to see it perfectly, but we've had these before, we've photographed them before, we've spoke about them before, so head over to the website, you will no doubt see all of that. But the Salmondale is absolutely beautiful. Chrono Tokyo doing amazingly. If I'm not mistaken, they actually sold out within 10 minutes of everything being open. Again, I could be wrong on that, but it was something crazy like that. So there's just very few out there. And again, to have fully stickered and brand new as well is great. This one's from October 2021. It does come with its full box and papers. Inside is the automatic Miyota 90S5, so a good 9 series Miyota. You really cannot go wrong with them. They're much higher grade than the 8 series, and I think they offer great value as well. So just a good overall watch, great overall watch, and just looks fantastic. But let's show it on wrist and talk dimensions. Here we go. I'm just going to rest it on my wrist rather than fasten it to my wrist. 37mm by 43.5mm lug to lug, only 11mm thick and 20mm lugs. Fantastic proportions, and they resisted the urge to go too big, and I think for this kind of design it would have been it would have ruined it. So this is perfect. Go check it out on the website today. From there to our second ever one of these, and they only made 60, and that is the Squale and Amsterdam watch company. An absolute fantastic piece with new old stock parts. We'll talk about it more in detail, but let's take a closer look. Next up we have this awesome Squale. They only made 60 of these, and this is the second one we have had. This is their antique Amsterdam watch company and Squale collaboration, the Sabino. Now, as far as we're aware, the story goes that Squale actually found a bunch of new old stock cases and bezels with collaboration with Blancpain. A lot of you know they used to partner with Squale, and you know, their history goes all the way back. It's one certainly worth researching, and it's fascinating. And what they did, they found, I think it was 150 cases. They've made a few limited editions from these, and this being one of them that they only made 60 from. And absolutely gorgeous. Original proportions of the case, obviously, because it is the original case at 35mm. You have this fantastic friction fit, which is, again, you know, is true to how it would have been originally. Bakelite bezel, which just looks fantastic. The inlay is gorgeous. Again, non-screw down crown, nice screw down case back, and inside is the automatic ETA 2671. So again, very true to what the original would have had as well. You've got those nice handset and dial. Everything about this speaks vintage, and it's all done in a very modern way, which is always great to see. But I really don't think you can go wrong with a watch like this at all. It's just so fun for the money. So let's show it on wrist and talk dimensions. And here we go on my wrist. I also forgot to say this is from January 2021. It does come with its box and papers, and it's like new, pretty much unworn as well. So this is 35mm by 41.5mm look to look, only 12.5mm thick and 19mm lug. So endless options right there. But a very good looking watch, and one that just looks so good and so comfortable on the wrist, regardless of your wrist size. So go check it out today. From there to an Oris Divers 65 in a configuration that may confuse you, especially if you're looking online at brand new from retail, because this isn't a configuration they do. So let's flip the camera and discuss more about this watch. Now for the Oris Divers 65 in 40mm. This reference, I'm not going to say the whole reference, you can go over to the website and see it, but it's the model that has the deep blue or very dark blue dial. Absolutely gorgeous with that sort of faux patina and the gilt and the gold. It has the bronze bezel, and if you're looking at the modern examples, it will either come with a leather strap or the two-tone bracelet. And we've actually sold one in the past with the two-tone bracelet, so you have the steel and the bronze through the center. However, this one you can see doesn't have the bronze through the center. This is the standard steel bezel. The reason being, back when this watch was purchased in October 2020, the customer bought it on the leather strap and then bought the full stainless steel bracelet separately. I've got to be honest, I actually prefer this configuration rather than the bronze center links. I'm not a huge fan of how bronze patinas personally. However, just on the bezel here, I think it's kind of cool. It definitely gives it more of a vintage vibe, so I get it. But going through the center of the bracelet, that's not quite for me personally, so this bracelet is a nice addition. Unfortunately, the watch doesn't come with the original strap. I believe the customer has retained it for other watches, which is fair because Oris straps are fantastic. Whereas this bracelet is built like a tank, and it will do everything you pretty much need. So as I say, October 2020, full box and papers, and inside is the automatic Sellita SW200, very reliable automatic watch, and a very good looking watch overall. But let's show it on wrist and talk dimensions. And here we go on my just shy of 7-inch wrist. It works so well, and really is a sort of a competitor to the Black Bay 58 in terms of heritage, design and size, but for a fraction of the cost. So again, for a bit over double the money, you could either get the Black Bay 58, or you could save that money, get this, and get something else on the side as well. The choice is completely yours, but 40mm by 48mm lug to lug, 13mm thick, which is including that highly domed sapphire crystal, so do keep that in mind. It actually wears a lot thinner than that would suggest, and 20mm lugs. So endless options on straps as well. This on a brown leather looks fantastic, but go check it out on the website today. From there to arguably one of the best values on the table today, and that is this Longines automatic. I'm calling it a Datejust two-tone with a box. Absolutely fantastic, and under £500. Let's take a closer look. We often talk about value for money at Kibble Watches, and rightfully so. I mean, it's one of the things we pride ourselves on, which is finding these fantastic watches and being able to offer them at great prices. And this Longines really is the epitome of that, in my opinion. This is a gorgeous Longines automatic from the circa 1990s. It does come with a box. It doesn't come with any paperwork, unfortunately. And it does come on its original two-tone bracelet, which is full size, this Jubilee style. And I've called it a Datejust because, let's be honest, this is what this watch was trying to be when they released it in the 1990s. And, you know, fair play to them. They've added this nice fluted bezel. You've got this nice sort of champagne gold coloured dial. You've got the date over there. Screw down crown, surprisingly, as well. Overall, the package, it works, it's good. And at under £500, which is what we're asking for this, it's a no-brainer, especially when you consider inside is an automatic ETA 2892-2. And one thing I find surprising with Longines is, if we look at the 1990s and we look at Amiga and the prices of what 1990s Amiga sell at compared to Longines, there's a big disparity. However, the Longines of the same time were built arguably just as well, and with movements that are just as well made, if not very similar in the first place. So I really do believe with Longines you're getting incredible value for your money. The exact reference of this one is L7.632.3. As I say, full bracelet, but let's show it on wrist and taut dimensions. And here we go on my wrist. What a classic looking watch. Again, this on a brown leather strap looks fantastic. However, you've got the option of the bracelet as well. So this is 34mm by 40mm lug to lug, only 8mm thick, so it wears super thin on the wrist, and 18mm lug, so again, endless options, but what a cool piece for under £500. I think this one should fly fairly quickly, so go pick it up on the website today. From there to a Meistersinger we have sold in the past, and I think is fantastic. And you know what, Meistersinger do what they do, and they do it well, and it's nice to see a brand not deciding just to go into mainstream because that's what sells. They just keep doing what they do, and again, it's brilliant. So let's take a closer look. Some of you guys and girls may remember this. This is the Meistersinger Metris Blue, the reference ME908 from April 2020 with its full box and papers. And the reason some of you may remember it is because we've sold it before, I think twice now. Really cool watch, and people really enjoy Meistersinger. The thing is, when people are looking at other watches, which often collectors do, you guys and girls know this yourself, sometimes things have to go in order to, you know, make room for whatever it is you're buying next. And for some reason, this one has been the cutting block for the people who've bought it so far. So maybe you can break that habit by buying this and enjoying it for the foreseeable future. But either way, what a cool watch. Automatic ETA inside, which is the 2824-2. You know, nice signed case back. And the reason I like Meistersinger is because they're just true to what they do. They don't budge, they don't sort of waver to make things that the sort of public want. This is their own design, their own thing. Obviously you have the single handle, show how all this works. So as you go round, as I pull it out, you'll see we go round one hand. We are now at 9 o'clock, we're now at 9:30, we're now at 10, we're now at 10:15, 10:30, so on. You get the gist. And as we go around, you can see we went past 12, so we are now in the AM because the date changed over. Hopefully all this is making sense. I'm probably rambling a bit, but there we go. And now we're in 3 PM, for example. You've got the date down there at 6 o'clock, which has the inverse Cyclops. Sorry, not inverse Cyclops, the Cyclops on the outside, which is quite nice. And it's paired on this denim style blue strap, which looks fantastic. It's original strap and buckle, but let's show it on wrist and taut dimensions. And here it is on my just shy of 7-inch wrist, a super comfortable profile, and it just works really well with the design. This is 39mm by 45mm lug to lug, 11mm thick and 20mm lugs. So go check this one out on the website today. And for the only true vintage watch on the table, and that is this awesome 1970s Zenith XLtronic. Real futuristic looking thing. Let's take a closer look. And now for a vintage Zenith. What a cool looking watch this is. Now the dial on this is blue, but it has certainly gone almost a shade of purple. And the way it's patinaed, it's got blue and purple mixed in there, which, considering it's the Queen's Jubilee, which is obviously purple, is kind of fitting. So there you go. Maybe the Queen should buy this, but I doubt she will. So this is a really awesome Zenith XLtronic, which is an electronic watch featuring the Zenith caliber 50.0, which again is an ESA caliber that's been sort of modified by Zenith and put on with their main plate to sort of brand it as Zenith. A lot of brands did this, Satina and, you know, Longines, we could go on, they all did it, Amiga included. But it's an ESA base. So the reference of this one is 01-0010-505, and it is from circa 1970. And what a cool looking case this is. I think this does scream 1970. You know, you choose whether that's a good thing or not. I personally love them. Not everyone does. But you have an original signed Zenith crown there. You've got the 4 screws in the case back. It's quite a rugged industrial design, really. And we paired it on this nice blue suede. You guys and girls know I like a suede, so this is perfect for me. But let's show it on wrist and taut dimensions. And here we go on my just shy of 7-inch wrist. I feel this just works so well, and it looks so cool. Again, very much of its time, but for the price, I don't think you can go wrong, and you can get a taste of the 1970s and see if it's something for you. So this is 37.5mm by 43mm lug to lug. It's 11mm thick and 20mm lug, so endless options if you're not a fan of this pairing, although I don't see what else you'd put it on. Maybe a mesh bracelet, but to be honest, I think this looks pretty good. So go check it out on the website today. Now on to the last two on the table. We have a Hamilton Khaki Pioneer Aluminium. We have sold this before. Again, another classic, and value for money is fantastic. Let's take a closer look. So if you like the sort of gold tone or the bronze tone but don't like the factor patinas, especially bronze, this is one for you. This is aluminium, so it's incredibly light. You've got all the lightness of titanium. If I'm not mistaken, aluminium is actually lighter than titanium as well. And you've got this sort of bronzy golden sort of sand colour to it, which just looks fantastic, especially with that dial. And Hamilton really know what they're doing with this model. This is the Khaki Pioneer aluminium automatic with the H10 inside, which if I'm not mistaken is their 80-hour power reserve caliber. And the specific reference to this one I'm not going to bore you with because it's a long reference. You can head over to the website and see it. But you've got this compressor style case in a rotating bezel, which is easily adjustable right there. You've obviously got the crown down here to set the time and date, wind, etc. And you've got the faux patina in the hands and the 12 and the 6, which with the overall design just works so well. And paired on this NATO strap by Hamilton, which again just really works. You've got these leather keepers. These are some of the best quality NATO straps in my opinion, because you've also got the leather against the holes here, which again just helps with wearability over time. You don't get that fraying that you sometimes do on NATOs. And again, it just makes it super high quality and comfortable, especially for the price. This one's from February 2018, does come with its box and papers, and it's hardly worn, to be honest. We actually sold this one ourselves a little while ago as brand new. That person has enjoyed it for a little while, worn it a handful of times at most, and has brought it back to us. So here we go, being able to offer it again. But let's show it on wrist and taut dimensions. And here we go on my just shy of 7-inch wrist. You've got this really awesome compressor case with the case that comes out, creating sort of crown guards over here, very reminiscent of some of the early chronos, the military chronos as well. So really cool piece. This is 43mm by 47mm lug to lug, only 12mm thick. That's not including the NATO strap, and 22mm lugs. So you can always swap it out if you're not a fan of this. However, in my opinion, this works really well. So go check it out on the website today. And last but certainly not least, another Hamilton Khaki. This is the automatic 42, which is just brilliant on the original strap, box and papers. Let's take a closer look. And last but certainly not least, we have the awesome Hamilton Khaki. Danny just told me Khaki means poo in Hungarian, so there you go. Really cool piece. This is the 42mm automatic Hamilton Khaki. The reference to this one, H705450, and this one's from August 2013. It does come with its box and papers. As we flip it over, you're going to see an automatic ETA 2824-2, which when you see the price of what we're asking for the whole set, is going to amaze you. The fact you can get a full ETA watch at this kind of price point. I mean, the movement's got to be worth something on its own. In general, especially considering this movement is used across the board in so many watches, the 2824. So as I say, August 2013, this is the original strap. It is worn and it has seen better days. We'll probably throw in another generic leather strap for you, so you can swap it out if you want to. You've got the nice black dial, date over there, big sign crown. It's just good. It's a good watch. You really can't go wrong. So let's show it on wrist and taut dimensions. And here we go on my wrist. Now it's definitely on the bigger side. It does fill up the wrist. I personally prefer the smaller sizes. But again, if you've got a bigger wrist, this may be one for you at 42mm by 52mm lug to lug, only 10.5mm thick and 22mm lugs. So endless options right there. But go check this one out on the website and pick up an absolute bargain. So there you have it, guys and girls. That is this week's drop. 13 awesome pieces, mostly modern, really ranging in brand new and worn to some, fantastic options at very good prices. I think there's really something for everyone here in this drop. And if not, I guarantee of the 130 odd watches on the website, one of those will probably be for you. So go over there, check them out. And also don't be afraid if there's a watch on there you really like, but price is a bit high for you, or you've got an offer you'd prefer to give, or even something you want to part exchange, again, subject to the watch and what it is you want to part exchange, let us know. We're always happy to work out a deal and see if we can make it work for both of us. So go check it all out today. We'll see you again soon. Bye.